Okay, last class we discussed about I think pH in everyday life, right? Discussed about this topic, I think so. So this is about pH explanation, important of pH in our everyday life we discussed. Okay, so today we are going to discuss about salts. So what does mean by salts actually? See, generally salts will be what we are expecting. Actually, salt is something called produce. Salt is a substance. How we are going to get salt? We are getting from the sea water. So the sea water we are taking sea water. We are going to do something called evaporation. Evaporation process. Sea water will get evaporated. For this thing like sea water, sea water. So during evaporation, only water will be evaporated. Remaining salt, rock salt, we are calling as rock salt. This is rock salt. How we are going to get rock salt? Okay, so this is when come to the chemistry. When come to the chemistry, the salt is produced by the something called. We discussed about reaction, I think. So what reaction we discussed about? Which reaction we observed production of salsa? Do you remember here? Something called neutralization. Which reaction, sir? Neutralization reaction. न्यूट्रलाइजेशन रिएक्शन में हमको salt और क्या मिलते water भी मिलते हैं. So here what happens actually, here we will take acid, right? Yes, we are going to react with base gives rise to salt and what's that? H2O means water. Water is going to produce. Okay, this is about salt. How we are getting salt in chemistry. In chemistry by reaction of which is called neutralization reaction. Why it is called neutralization we know very well. Acid will produce something called H plus, which is responsible for the acidic character. Similarly, base which is produces OH minus N, which is responsible for the basic character. These two will combine and will form H2O. This and salt. The salt is produced from the acid radical and basic radical. Okay, this is what is a neutralization reaction. So before that, let me discuss about. Okay. Yes, I'll give an example for it so that you can understand here. So this is what we are going to get salt. So example, we have a acid like HCl. Aqueous solution of HCl is treated with aqueous solution of NaOH. Na sodium hydroxide gives rise to. So acid H plus ion and Cl minus ion, Na plus and OH minus ions. So we can say it's a double displacement reaction also, neutralization reaction also. Separate H from the acid, OH from the base. Remaining what's the remaining we have left with an Na and Cl. Na plus Cl minus will form NaCl plus H2O. So this is NaCl salt. Okay, this is how we are going to get a salt. Okay, this is about neutralization reaction, salt and water. Now come to the this activity. Some activity they given here about salt. What activity they given, sir? Let's remember, sir. Here, let's to see here. They given about more about salt is blah blah. In previous sections, we have seen the formation of salt during the various reactions. Let us understand more about their preparation, properties, and uses. We are going to discuss about how the salt can be prepared and what are those properties, salt's properties, and which area we can use the salt. Family of salt. So last year last year means last year, it means 2024. So 2024 there was a case based case based question. For 4 marks they asked a question regarding this topic only. Very important. This year maybe they will ask in terms of MCQ, in terms of 2 marks, in terms of 3 marks. Okay, now see. So write the chemical formula of salts given below. So some salts they given here. Which are those? They given potassium potassium sulfate, sodium sulfate, calcium sulfate, magnesium sulfate, copper sulfate, sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium carbonate, ammonium chloride. So these are the salts where we are getting here. So now discuss about what are the acids and bases which are used to prepare these salts. They are asking people that the chemical formula of this gas, this salts they given, and identify the, you see here they given here, identify the acid and bases from which the above salt may obtained. So we should identify. Okay. So now we should identify the salts. Let we discuss about what are the acids and what are the bases. Let we discuss about sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, copper, potassium, sodium, potassium, so potassium sulfate. The given here, sir. Potassium sulfate is the formula of potassium sulfate. It is a K2SO4 is a potassium sulfate. That they given about sodium sulfate. Next, what they given sir about? They given about what's that they given about calcium and magnesium, copper, calcium, magnesium, calcium. They given about magnesium sulfate and they given about copper sulfate. So these are the salts they given here. So along with that, let we discuss here. Along with that, they given sodium carbonate and ammonium chloride. Sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium chloride. NaCl, sodium nitrate. What's that? NaNO3, sodium nitrate. And what are given, sir? Ammonium, sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. And what they given, sir? Ammonium chloride. So they are asking these are salts. These are salts, and we should be able to identify which acid it is made up of, which acid, which base. First, you should remember K2SO4 can be split into K plus, 2K plus, and SO4 minus 2. Charge is minus 2. Similarly, you can write here 2Na plus and SO4 minus 2. Similarly, you can write here Ca plus 2 and SO4 minus 2. And magnesium plus 2 in case of this one, magnesium plus 2 plus SO4 minus 2. Similarly, see here copper Cu plus 2 plus SO4 minus 2. So let we discuss here. We will write about separate line. Others will be difficult. Okay. Now see here what is the specialty cell? How to find the bases and acids. The acids is a non-metallic part will be there. So first in the when come to the salts, you try to understand here. Salt have a two parts will be there. See, salts have a two parts. So one is metallic part, sir. This is first part is metal part. Second part is non-metal part. For the metal part, you should add the OH, but the acid. But the non-metal part, you should add the H plus. Okay. Now see, this is metallic part. So I will say this is made up of what, sir? We should add the OH. So what we can say? I can say it is made up of so potassium hydroxide KOH is the formula KOH. Similarly, here we have sodium, so we can say NaOH. Okay, so let me erase here. So now, what I can say. Now see. So now this we have a K2SO4. So let me write here K2SO4. This K2SO4 is made up of water. K2SO4. Okay. See this K2SO4 is made up of potassium, so it's made up of potassium hydroxide. It's made up of I said hydrogen and sugar. How many will add, sir? What is charge upon sulfate, sir? Minus 2. So 2 is a charge, right? That's why I should write 2 H2. So it will become what, sir? H2SO4. What is the acid, sir? Here H2SO4 is acid, sir. And what is the base for the K2SO4? KOH is a base. Clear? This is how we need to identify acids and bases for the different salts. Let us discuss about next one. The next one, sir. Next one is what it is. Next one, sir. Next one is so. For next one we have first one. Let me write one by one so that you can understand better. Okay. Now see we have as the given K2SO4. Again I am writing it is K2SO4. K2SO4 is made up of so K2SO4 it is K2SO4 is made up of what's that? KOH. This is base and it is made up of acid. What's that? Sulfate is it? I'm adding two charges SO4 minus 2, which is acid. Okay. Similarly, if next you take a given Na2SO4, sodium sulfate, then you can say sodium hydroxide is a base and again H2SO4 is what it is an acid. Next you can see they given about sodium sulfate, calcium sulfate, then calcium and magnesium sulfate. Calcium sulfate formula CaSO4 sir, it is made up of base which is called calcium hydroxide. Formula will be CaOH taken twice. Why? Because why OH2 are that means is calcium valence is plus 2. Charge is plus 2, valence is 2. That's why you should add the two hydroxide ions. Similarly, again sulfate is made up of what sir? Due to the sulfuric acid. Next you see calcium after we have magnesium and copper. Magnesium sulfate formula MgSO4. It is made up of magnesium hydroxide. How many OH should add, sir? What is the magnesium valence is sir? 2. That's why I should add the 2 OH2. Similarly, plus sulfate again we have how many hydrogens are that too depending upon the what will be the charge upon the sulfate. Sulfate charge is SO4 minus. That's why I'm adding two hydrogens here. So next after magnesium we have a copper. Copper sulfate is a formula. Copper valence is 2. I am adding two hydroxide ions for the copper. CuOH taken twice. Again we have sulfate. Again it will be an SO4. Clear? So this is acids and bases which are used to prepare this respective potassium sulfate, sodium sulfate, calcium sulfate. These are all things. Next you see after this one they given about sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium carbonate. Sodium chloride, sodium nitrate, sodium they given sodium chloride they given. Sodium chloride is made up of again what we can say sir. It is made up of sodium hydroxide. Na is there NaOH I am adding here. Again we have a Cl I am adding hydrogen. Similarly we have sodium what they given sir sodium chloride, sodium nitrate they given. Sodium nitrate, sodium Na, NO is the formula sodium nitrate. Again, you see metal part is Na. I am adding NaOH. So again, we have a nitrate. So nitrate valence is -1, charge is -1. I am adding only one hydrogen. Similarly, next we have sodium carbonate, Na2CO3. So here so one sodium is sodium. What is the valency? One is the valency. I'm adding one OH and we have a carbonate. See carbonate valence is 2, right? That's why I'm adding 2 hydrogen. Similarly, next one you see last one they given about ammonium chloride. It is made up of ammonium valence is +1, charge is +1. I'm adding one is I'm taking as valency, one OH I'm adding. Similarly, Cl is there, you should add one hydrogen because Cl will form -1 ion. This is about this given salt. So now we discussed about what kind of acids and bases are used to prepare these salts. Identify acids and bases from which the above salts may be obtained. Salts having the same positive and negative radicals are used to use are said to belong to a family. For example, NaCl, what they are saying here, suppose here we have NaCl and we have a Na2CO3, Na2SO4, right? So now see what are the cations are here? Here cation is Na plus and Cl minus is ionization. Here we can say two Na plus ions and one SO4 minus 2 ion will be there. What are the common ions are common? You see Similarly, if next we take on NaCl. So NaCl I can write as again Na plus and Cl minus. And similarly, KCl I write as also K plus and Cl minus. Now see what they are saying. This what they are saying here. Now they are saying that suppose here common is what's the common is sodium, and sodium is a common ion. So these two are we can say as a sodium salt. We can call them as what's a sodium salt because what's a same what we have same cation. Similarly, these two you can say these two common is what's a Cl minus Cl minus. These we can call as a chloride salts. What are the common and chloride salt is what's a here Cl minus is common here. I think you got the point. Now come that and blah 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 blah. So how many families can you identify among the salt given in the activity? The asking here we discussed here. So how many types of see here? Can you see here what are the common ions are here? Yes, sodium is common here. So okay, now we should write here. Now let me write here. So this is salt, right? It's Na plus. You can write as Na plus. This can be split into what? Sir, you can write Na plus and NO3 minus. Similarly, here we have 2Na plus sodium carbonate. I am writing as ions and CO3 minus 2. Similarly, I write as this one ammonium plus NH4 plus ion and Cl minus ion, right? Similar, this is ionization of what's the I'm writing about ionization of NaCl. Don't consider of these all things. Okay. So now see. Similarly, now we can write about this also. So what I'm saying here. So these are don't worry about these all things. Okay. So just write. Now we should write about this ionization. So K2 SO4 can be written as what's a 2K plus and SO4 minus 2 Na plus and SO4 minus 2. Similarly, Ca plus 2 and SO4 minus 2. Similarly, magnesium Mg plus 2, Mg plus 2 and SO4 minus 2 we can write. Next we can write as Cu plus 2 and SO4 minus 2. Now see what are the common ions as we discussed earlier. If common ions are there, what is the chance? We can categorize them as a similar salts. See what are the common ions? You can see here sulfate is common, right? Sulfate. So now tell me, can I name this salt as which salt? I can name this salt which salts are. I can name. Okay, name sir. I can name this. Salts as with salsa can call these are all as what sir? I can say these all are the salts of salts of sulfate because of what sir? So there is an acid radical. Which is acid radical sir? Acid radical means ion which are produced from the acid. Which acid radicals are sulfate SO4 minus 2 acid radical. This is which is nothing but an ion. Okay, anion of salt is made up of sulfate. That's why this is also called salts of sulfate. Salts of sulfate. Now come this story. Here see NaCl is a. What are the common ions are here? Sodium. Can I say these three are sodium salts? Definitely I can say these are called salts of sodium. Salts of sodium. Okay. It is Na plus. This called cation can call or they can call as a it is also called from base it is that's what is called basic radical. Basic radical means ion produced by the base. Any other things, any other category is possible here. So you just to see here, just I'll write the label with but other color. This color. So can you observe here something else, especially the Cl minus plus Cl minus. So can I call this to as what also? I can call them as a salts of salts of chloride. Salts of chloride because there is an anion which is anion is a Cl minus which is also called acid radical. acid radical. So similar cation is means you can call them as a belongs to that salt. This is about the story about classification of salt. Let's remember classification of salt. It is okay. So classification of salt. Now this is one way of classification. You can say based on the what kind of cations and anions they have. Now now discuss about this topic where we can see pH of salt. So pH of salt. So now see the given here. Now see the given here. Collect the following samples: sodium chloride, potassium nitrate, and aluminum chloride, zinc sulfate, copper sulfate, sodium acetate, sodium carbonate, sodium hydrogen carbonate. Salts are available in acetate. Check the solubility of water. Definitely they are soluble. Check the action of solution of litmus. Find the pH of paper. Which are the salts are acidic, basic, and neutral. Identify acids, bases used to report your observations. So why does this given this activity actually? See, in CBSE behind every activity there is a purpose of the understanding the concept. So if you got the concept, so you can easily write the answer in the examination. If not, if you can't write the answers, somewhere, then somewhere, somewhere you need to understand the concept. Still there is an so what I can say now. Now see, let's try to understand this activity. What I'm saying here, whatever may be the activity, especially in chemistry, CBSE used to make you people to understand the concept. If not, it is difficult to write the exam. Okay. Now see what is the concept they given behind this one. See, try to understand. What is the question they're asking, sir? See, every time when you're reading the activity, please go through this last 2 points or 3 points. Okay. As soon as you see here, there is question mark. Check the solubility. So there may be a question about solubility, which is least soluble salt, which is an highly soluble salt. Action of these solutions on the litmus. Verification is that definitely this will be you may be asked the color of the salts. I mean pH paper color and and the paper is going to dip in solution of different salts and all. And then again which is acidic and basic. Again same question about pH. So identify acids and bases. So why is it this pH is depending upon these acids and bases? The answer is definitely yes. Definitely. Again, I am saying here. First thing is what's that? First thing they are asking about what's that? Solubility. There may be question. Solubility. Okay. Solubility. They may ask the question. They may ask the solubility question. Solubility. They can answer the question. Okay. Question may be about solubility. Question may be about pH. And pH is afterwards they're asking to identify parent acids and bases. It means this pH of salt pH is depending upon what kind of acid and what kind of base are used to prepare that particular salt. That is important. That's why they're asking identify. They're asking identify the acids and bases used to prepare the salts. That's why it is important. I'm saying. Okay. Let's see. Now see you can see here. It's asking to identify. This is not identify acids and acids bases. And they're asking whether salt is acid base, acidic or basic or neutral. That they're asking to identify acid and bases used to form the salts. So to discuss about sodium chloride, potassium nitrate, aluminum chloride, zinc sulfate, copper sulfate, and sodium acetate, sodium carbonate, and sodium hydrogen carbonate. We try to understand here. So now can go with an First one is sodium chloride. The given first one is sodium chloride. Okay, see, sodium chloride is given here. Sodium chloride is made up of what kind of acids you're expecting? I said that metallic part you add OH. I'm adding metallic part is Na. I'm adding OH. Non-metallic part is Cl. I'm adding H tail. Become HCl. Okay. So this is an what? This is an base and this is an ester. Okay. Now see one more example. What they given here? Given potassium nitrate, potassium nitrate and aluminium. So better you take here. Potassium. Let me discuss first what is meant by different type of salts. You try to understand. Salts are three types are there. One is neutral salts. One is neutral salts. Okay. Neutral salts is result of what's the result of strong acid plus strong base. Strong base. Use example you can take. Strong acid is HCl. And strong base is what's the NaOH. So what are the results are here? Result is NaCl. NaCl plus H2O. So you see here, NaCl is what salt? It is an neutral salt. One more example they give potassium. Potassium nitrate they give. This potassium nitrate is made up of what sir? KOH. Which is an again strong acid. Sorry, strong base it is. Plus HNO3. We can HNO3 we can say it is a strong acid it is. That's why KNO3 is a neutral salt plus H2. So you try to understand neutral salt will be obtained by the strong acid and strong base. It only in this case only you get neutral salt. Answer is no. And one more case is one more case what's if it is weak. If we have a weak acid, weak acid plus weak base. This also gives rise to neutral salt. So weak acid, can you say weak acid is H2CO3? So we can say. Can you take weak bases? We can say weak bases. We'll take ammonium hydroxide is weak base. Gives rise to ammonium carbonate. Ammonium carbonate in the NH4 CO3 plus H2. This is also we can say neutral. If it is both are equivalently weak acid and weak bases. Again, if there is difference slightly, there what may be the this one? Okay, that we discuss. Okay, then after next one is one more thing is uh, one more kind of category is an acidic salt. We take different color. Okay, acidic salt. So what do you, when you get acidic salt, sir? So acidic salt means the salt means anyway there is an acid, there is an base. If it is a strong acid, if it is strong acid, we have a weak base. We have a weak base. Then what will get? Then we get a acidic salt. Acidic salt plus H2O. Example: what's a strong acid? You take king of acid H2O. Suppose it's called king of acid. Plus weak base. As we discussed, ammonium hydroxide is a weak base. What happens are here? Ammonium sulfate. Ammonium NH4 sulfate valence is 2. I'm giving percent ammonium sulfate plus H2O. So what about nature of this one, sir? This is what nature it is. This is acidic. This is acidic salt. Why, sir? Because acid radical is strong here. So you can say strong acids. Now similarly, when we can expect basic salt. So I can expect basic salt is when, sir? Basic salt will be when We are using the weak acid. There must be an weak acid. Should be react with what, sir? React with a strong, strong base. Then you will get what, sir? Then you will get a salts, basic salt. Basic salt plus H2O. Example, we can say weak acid is what, sir? CH3, COOH. It is an vinegar. It is vinegar. Plus we'll take strong base. We'll take sodium hydroxide. So we get here this is strong base. Sodium hydroxide. Sodium hydroxide will get what, sir? Get sodium CH3 CON. It is called sodium acetate. Sodium acetate plus H2O. What is the nature of this one, sir? This is basic. Similarly, you can take one more example. So you can take NaOH. NaOH is an what's that? It is a strong base. Strong what it is? Strong base it is. Similarly, we'll take CaOH taken to sorry, extremely sorry. So we can take carbonic acid H2CO3. So we'll get what's up. So this is remember it is a weak acid it is. Weak acid. So we'll get Na2CO3. Sodium carbonate is called sodium carbonate plus H2O. So what kind of salt it is? It is an basic salt. I think now you got the point. What kind of salt you will get? What kind of salt will you get? So that is depending upon the what's that? Depending upon the what it is, sir? It is depending upon the mm, parent acids and bases, right? So first, let's understand here first cases. So when we are taking the salts of now see they given here. You try to understand here. Neutral salt will be there. See, salt is obviously obtained when the reaction is taking place between the acid and base. So again, based on the type of acids and bases, salt is going to obtain. Suppose strong acid is strong, acidic salt. Base is strong, basic salt. Okay, what I'm saying, salt is suppose what I'm saying, acid is strong, salt will be acidic in nature. Base is strong, salt will be basic in nature. That's what we can conclude by this one. Neutral salt means what's that? Strong acid, strong base, or else weak acid and weak base. Example for neutral salt, NaCl and KNO3. Similarly, neutral salt, ammonium carbonate, NH4 taken twice CO3. Similarly, you see when you are getting acidic salt, sir, when you are getting acidic salt, sir, strong acid and weak base will be there. What is the strong here, sir? Acid is strong. That's why it will get acidic salt. Ammonium sulfate here. Sulfate ion is from the acid and ammonium from the ammonium hydroxide, which is weak base. Acid is strong here. That's why we are getting the acidic salt. When we are getting basic salt, weak acid should be and strong base would be. Example, we can take vinegar, weak acid, and then a strong base. That's why sodium acetate is an what's that? It is an basic. So similarly, sodium hydroxide and carbonic acid. Here also in this case also carbonic acid is a weak acid as compared to the NaOH. That's why we going to get sodium carbonate, which is basic in nature. So now you got the point. So now see they given here examples. Sodium. So we can take to discuss what kind of now see one more thing you try to understand here. If it is acidic means what is the pSa less than 7. If it is base means what is the pSa? It will be it will be now see sample they are saying you can go with on this. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Hmm. Okay. Now see, we have sodium chloride. Sodium chloride, what we can say is sodium chloride is an neutral. Neutral means what is the pH? pH will be is equal to 7. Now potassium nitrate, again it is neutral, again pH will be what's that? Equal to 7. Aluminium chloride, so we can say it is an strong acid is we can say acidic salt. So we can say pH means it will be less than 7. Zinc sulfate. Zinc sulfate is due to what's a sulfuric acid. That's what will be an what's a stick again pH will be less than 7. Copper sulfate. Sulfate again sulfate. It will be an pH will be what's a less than 7. Okay. Similarly, you see sodium acetate. Just we discussed sodium acetate is what's a basic salt. It is pH will be greater than 7. Sodium carbonate. Here also sodium is highlighted here. Strong base it is. That's why pH will be greater than 7. Sodium hydrogen carbonate. Here also sodium hydrogen carbonate is again due to sodium pH will be greater than 7. So I think you got the point here. See this pH paper. So again different colors will be there. We know very well below the 7 it will be color may be the we can see here they given the color here. So we can see so this is diagram right. So they given here. So we can see here you can able to identify. As you can see here, different color is there before the see 0 means it will be red color. 1, 2, 3 red to orange to yellow, yellow to green color. Again deep green means it's a basic green to blue, blue to you can say violet. Okay. Now see this is what we discuss about pH and all. Okay. So now after we given about chemical from the common salts. So what is the common salt formula, sir? NaCl is called common salt. We'll discuss afterwards.